These two drives cut out a cable that has historically been critical if you wanted to bring massive files with you. Are they entirely wireless? No, but that's not the point. The point is to open up options for bringing all your files with you on one drive without a tether. But who actually needs that kind of freedom? How much storage space are we talking? And is there more to the story for how you can use these drives? Well, thanks to Seagate for sponsoring this video, we're going to tell you a thing or two about the Seagate One Touch desktop and the FireCuda X Vault right here, right now on Robeytech. Now, full disclosure, we've been working with Seagate behind the scenes to tell a story about these two external drives right here. But sponsorship aside, this video isn't going to be about propping up a product, it's more about discovery and some creative things these drives enable. Now, the more we got to know these two drives, the more we wanted to dig deeper into what, if anything, sets them apart from other external storage options, why these might be worth considering, and why they may not be the right fit for you. And that's exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna talk about what they are, what they do, and what problems they might solve if you're someone with these problems. And as we get started, we do want to say thank you to Seagate for sponsoring this video and for giving us time with the One Touch and the FireCuda X Vault. All right, let's get to know these two drives a bit better, starting with the FireCuda X Vault. FireCuda X Vault is Seagate's gamer and streamer-focused mass storage solution. This is the drive for gamers looking for high-capacity storage for all their epic play-of-the-game clips, for streamers who are archiving their streams, and for the editors taking all those clips and turning them into montages for social media. The chassis of this drive is also designed with a more modern look to help it blend with other gaming-centric gear. And yes, that means it even has customizable RGB, which means it's fast, at least according to GamerLogic. FireCuda X Vault is available in two sizes. The 8TB version launches for around $270 and the 20TB version for around $530. Moving on to One Touch, this is Seagate's more mainstream option. While it doesn't have the RGB of the Vault, One Touch does have a stylish aesthetic of its own that allows it to blend into more settings, whether that's a dorm room, a home office, or even a studio. And because of that, this drive has some range, whether that's like for the family archivist that saves every picture, video, and email, the videographer who brings projects into the office for review, or for the nuclear physicist that's sick of dragging multiple drives with them between labs. And no, that last one is not speculation. We did actually ask a nuclear physicist. We just can't show proof on camera for some lame reason, something about national security. As for sizes and pricing, One Touch is available in three models. We have the 8TB version for around $260, the 20TB version for around $520, and the 24TB version for around $620. Now, there are a lot of similarities between these two drives outside of aesthetics. Both One Touch and FireCuda X Vault are running 3.5-inch HDDs inside of their enclosures, and they both have a special trick that we'll talk about in just a second. Additionally, both drives come with Seagate's Toolkit. This is Seagate's companion software for things like folder mirroring, automated backups, and encryption. And as an added bonus, both of these drives come with 2 years of Seagate's Rescue Data Recovery Service, as well as 2 months of Adobe Creative Cloud Pro. Vault does bring a little extra to the table with a 1-month subscription to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate for your PC. Now, all of this, extras are subject to change based on region, but I wanted to back up for a second because what Seagate is offering with their Rescue Data Recovery Service is no joke. Since one of the goals with a drive like this is to keep your data secure, this service offers an extra peace of mind layer that is almost unheard of in this market. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, Roby, I get it, they're external hard drives, but I'm still trying to figure out why you're talking about them and what even makes them special. Well, beyond coming in sizes that rival the storage capacity of Mary Poppins' carpet bag, both One Touch and FireCuda X Vault do something that we haven't seen a high-capacity drive do before. They don't need a power cable. Historically, if you wanted an external drive with a capacity above 8 terabytes, you would need one of these, and one of these. Instead, Seagate has engineered these drives to get all the power they need from one USB Type-C connection. Now, this is made possible because USB Type-C ports are becoming more of a standard on laptops and motherboards, and the ports are typically rated to deliver at least 15 watts of power, and even more so with USB power delivery standards. Now, they didn't exactly give us the whole list of secret herbs and spices when we asked them about this, but what they did tell us is that all of this was made possible by some clever design and firmware optimizations that had all data and power be moved to a single cable, while simultaneously keeping a multi-platter HDD spinning. And because of this, the 15 watts is enough to make a 3.5-inch hard drive spin. This also means that since power and data transfer are happening on the same cable, you don't need a power outlet or a chunky power supply to have access to high-capacity storage. This is great news for the person who hates having more than one cable to manage on their desk, but it also means you have the freedom to use these drives in in more places. To make this a bit more personal, when my team and I do video shoots outside of the studio, we're grabbing a ton of footage for our editors to work with. In the past, our options for handling all the storage needs were to either bring a bunch of extra drives with us or dump files into the cloud. Now, the last option usually looked like Brian offloading files onto our server before going to bed, praying that our internet speeds, wherever we're staying, are fast enough to upload all of this before the next day. Could we have brought more drives or a bigger drive with us? Well, of course we could, but the thought of bringing a mass storage drive has never been a consideration because we never know what kind of access to power we're going to get when we get on site. I do want to make a point here that's worth bringing up since we're talking about travel. These are still physical drives with moving parts. While you can transport them carefully, they're not exactly throw in your backpack and throw your backpack around kind of drives. They can be moved from point A to point B, but they do require some care. So with all of that in mind, who would actually benefit from external drives like the One Touch or the FireCuda X-Vault? Aside from my personal example, drives like One Touch Desktop can help business professionals bring their media libraries or massive data sets into collaborative meetings with clients, whether those meetings are in an office or in a coffee shop. I can also see developers using One Touch to work on large data sets and coding projects locally without having to worry about a connection to the cloud. As for the FireCuda X-Vault, I can see it being the perfect companion for the gamer who's bringing their PC to a LAN party but isn't quite sure what they want to play before they leave home. Having a massive drive allows them to download more of their Steam library at home and then transfer game files onto their main SSD whenever they're on site, without having to worry about download speeds. Now, there are definitely examples between all of these, but you get the idea. The bottom line is that both the One Touch and the FireCuda X-Vault do the job of providing access to just about anything you can store without having to worry about whether you have a spare outlet, an internet connection, or an extra cable to manage. Now, I did promise at the beginning we would talk about who One Touch and FireCuda X-Vault might not be the right fits for, and I'm going to make good on that promise, though I'm not sure these examples are going to be too surprising. First off, we did touch on this a bit already, but if you're someone looking for a drive that can take the rigor of being thrown around in a backpack or into the pocket of a pair of cargo shorts, these are not going to be the drives for you. Listen, I get it. Sometimes you have to grab and go quickly without your gear and there's no time to be gentle. Now, if you need extra storage in a situation like this, these drives are not going to be the right fit for you. You need something with less moving parts like an SSD. Similarly, if you're looking for mass storage to run applications from, a physical drive, whether it's internal or external, it's not going to be the play for anything that depends on fast load times. In other words, you're not going to be connecting one of these to your Xbox to extend its library space, but something tells me that the idea isn't far from Seagate's mind. Lastly, if you're someone that just doesn't keep files around, or if you're someone whose inboxes and camera rolls are as clean as the day you got your device, you probably don't need this kind of storage. At the end of the day, Seagate has done something really smart with both the FireCuda X-Vault and the One Touch. They've delivered high-capacity storage options for the person who needs access to all of their data without having to worry about internet connections, outlets, or remembering which drive they actually stored their files on, because they're big enough. And even if you're just using an external drive at home to back up your devices, the freedom to power a large hard drive off of a single USB Type-C cable means you have one less cable to manage in your home setup and one less open outlet that you'll need to find to make it all work. It's a really simple thing, but it's the kind of thinking that helps technology do the thing it's supposed to do, make life easier so that you can enjoy it with less of a hassle. And with that, we're going to wrap up this overview of Seagate's One Touch and FireCuda X-Vault. Again, we want to say a big thank you to Seagate for sponsoring this video, and as always, we want to know what you think. What kind of possibilities would drives like these open for you? Where would you see these drives making the most sense for what you do? And which design is your favorite? Let us know down in the comments. And while you're down there, if you like this video or you learned something from it, we'd love it if you'd hit those like, subscribe, and notification bell buttons. We have a lot more content like this coming here at Robeytech, Robeytech Live, and on all of your other favorite social media platforms. And hey, if you have questions or want to talk about these videos, hop on over to our Discord server over at discord.gg/Robeytech. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you on the next one.